Now at 5, storm damage across parts of the area has residents cleaning up and power crews working overtime. Plus, the Ronald McDonald House of the Four States receives a $30,000 donation. And
President Trump heads to Michigan to mark his 100 days in office. I'm Erica Brown with new plans to ease tariffs on the auto industry as he touts his economic agenda.
The Four States' most watched news starts now.
Power lines are down, waterways are up, some roofs are gone. A number of communities are dealing with damage from wind, hail, and flooding, and more severe weather could be on the way. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. We're going to have more on the damage in a moment, but first let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it's definitely been a heck of a spring so far. We're not even into May yet, which is typically our biggest severe weather month of the year. But look at all the storm reports once again for us during the morning hours. As we go into the metro, a lot of large hail. So we're talking $50 to golf ball size hail through the metro. Once you go a little bit farther south, especially Delaware County, up near Neosho, up towards Springfield, you can see a lot of wind reports, but some of this is going to come back as tornadic. As National Weather Service, once they do their surveys, we'll find out exactly where. But obviously a lot of hail, a lot of wind damage across the region. Look at the rainfall amounts, anywhere from 1 upwards to 3 or 4 inches. And of course we have flash flooding, flash flood watch in effect, and we have more rain, which is going to be heading toward us. Look at this batch working in right now. Not really worried about strong to severe storms this evening, but some heavy amounts of rain. We're going to break this all down for you here in a bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Residents in Newton County, Missouri are already starting recovery efforts following this morning's storms. Across the area, there were fallen power lines, uprooted trees, downed limbs. Homes and businesses were also impacted, with many roofs damaged and structures like sheds and barns, in some cases, as you see, just torn apart. Many residents report power outages as well. Newton County Emergency Management says damaged areas are mainly from west of Neosho to Fairview, Stark City, and Newtonia.
We feel very blessed. God is good. It could have been a whole lot worse. When you see sheet metal impale into the ground 18 inches deep, you think, oh my gosh, what would that have done to someone or, something?
We try to concentrate our efforts were, first of all, making sure that everybody was okay, if anybody needed our assistance that way. And then second of all, those down power lines, trying to protect those to make sure people were safe.
The Newton County Sheriff says it's important that residents be safe during recovery efforts, including staying away from down power lines and sharp pieces of debris. Storm damage in Miami, Oklahoma left trees, power lines, and power poles down across that city. The front door and window of Shoe Sensation were damaged during the weather event. Crews continued working to clear debris and restore power. Residents are urged to use caution around damaged areas until cleanup is complete. Severe flooding caused major issues in Pittsburgh today, stranding motorists, uprooting trees. One tree fell on a home as heavy rain swept through that area. First responders worked to assist drivers and address damage across the city. Frank Fletcher Subaru donated more than $30,000 to Ronald McDonald House Charities of the Four States during this check presentation today. The donation comes from the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, which allows customers to direct contributions with each vehicle purchase. The Joplin dealership also added funds through employee donations, bringing their 11-year total to more than $200,000. President Trump is rallying in Michigan to tout his economic policy as he marks the first 100 days of his second term. As Erica Brown reports, the trip comes as the White House signals it will ease some tariffs affecting the car industry.
President Trump is marking the 100th day of his second term with a trip to Michigan, home of the U.S. auto industry, as the White House announces it's easing some tariffs on automakers.
We just wanted to help them during this little transition.
The 25% tariff on imported vehicles and auto parts will remain, but automakers won't be subject to the additional duty on imported steel and aluminum, and they'll get some offsets for cars finished in America. The administration says the relief measures will encourage more U.S. production and new factories.
If they can't get parts, we didn't want to penalize them.
The Trump administration is also highlighting what they say is a major economic achievement of the president's first 100 days. Trillions of dollars of investment commitments, including billions from companies like Apple and Nvidia.
All of these investment commitments are estimated to generate at least 451,000 new high-paying jobs for American workers.
The latest CBS News poll shows a majority of Americans think the U.S. economy is getting worse under President Trump, and the administration is focusing too much on tariffs and not enough on lowering prices.
Trump's reckless tariffs are going to make high price of groceries, gas, housing, utilities, clothing, electronics, and other essential goods even worse.
Trump's trade policies have also led to uncertainty on Wall Street with stock market volatility, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent downplayed concerns.
President Trump creates what I would call strategic uncertainty in the negotiations. So he is more concerned about getting the best possible trade deals for the American people.
Bessent says he expects more certainty to come as trade deals are announced. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Tariffs are still rattling car makers. Today, General Motors postponed its first quarter conference call to discuss its guidance and quarterly results, saying it'll reassess its expectations for 2025 due to the Trump administration's tariffs. Still ahead, the latest statistics on a devastating disease.
The number of Americans living with Alzheimer's disease is growing. I'm Jared Hill with the findings of a new report.
And a new warning about bird flu. Those stories next in Healthwatch. Topping today's Healthwatch, a group of virologists around the world are sounding the alarm on bird flu. The Global Virus Network says H5N1, which has spread to millions of birds and at least 70 humans, requires proactive surveillance. It comes at a time when the Trump administration has fired dozens of experts who track disease outbreaks in the U.S. The U.S. saw its first human bird flu death earlier this year. The number of Americans living with Alzheimer's disease has risen to more than 7 million. A new report from the Alzheimer's Association shows as those numbers grow, more people want to know as early as possible if they have the disease or are at risk. Reporter Jared Hill has more on the findings.
You're next.
Greg and Norma Donato play each other in word games every day to keep their brains sharp. Greg was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease 8 years ago. His short-term memory and language have been impacted the most.
My brain doesn't go as fast as it used to be. I know what I want to say, but it doesn't come out right.
The 76-year-old father and grandfather just finished 18 months of an infusion therapy called Leqembi. It targets and removes beta amyloid from the brain in the hopes of slowing the progression of the disease. Greg's tests show improvement.
He's very positive and wanting to try anything.
I want other people to know that there is, there's hope.
A new report from the Alzheimer's Association finds nearly 80% of people surveyed would want to know if they had the disease before having symptoms.
Americans are interested in getting a blood test if and when that becomes available and finding out early. And the reason for this is people want access to treatments. We have new treatments on the market that can slow the progression.
And the report also shows people are willing to accept even high risk to do that.
If they can find out early, they want to do something about it in order to change the course of the disease. Not only with new treatments, but also with lifestyle changes.
We're a team.
Yes.
The couple, married for 54 years, says they have a lot to be grateful for.
I just hope he continues to be blessed with the symptoms staying as mild as possible. I mean, I know what it could become, and I try not to go that place.
My grandchildren, that's the way I live. I live for them.
Thankful for more time to enjoy life. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The report also shows if diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, 83% of those surveyed would be willing to participate in a clinical trial for treatment. Later, TV and the power of suggestion.
The White Lotus travel effect is real, increasing interest in the regions and resorts where the series has been filmed, including right here in this suite. I'm Wendy Gillette on the island of Maui in Hawaii, where it all started.
And of course, we have more thunderstorms working into the region. I'll have those details coming up. Well, of course, stormy day for us today. Showers, thunderstorms, especially during the morning hours, and we have more rain, which is going to be heading toward us as we go through the next few days. In fact, on and off storms from now all the way into Friday. We're going to have those sticking around. We've had a lot of rain, so we do have some flash flooding threats that we got to keep our eyes on because we do have some heavy bands of rain which are still going to rotate in. Temperatures stay pretty mild this week. Severe threat, another one, moves back in by the middle of next week. Of course, we're almost into the month of May, which typically is our most active month, but April, we've had 3 big outbreaks. Nothing or no severe thunderstorm watches across the region. We do have one once you get down toward Oklahoma City, Lawton, Wichita Falls. That's where I think most of the severe weather is going to stick as we go through the rest of the evening hours. Look at the bands of showers and thunderstorms that pushed through this morning. Of course, we had the severe storms right through here. They were booking east at about 55 to 60 miles per hour, but we do have more showers and some thunder embedded in across northeastern parts of Oklahoma, kind of building back in. Light showers, Pittsburgh to Columbus. Here's Lamar to Carthage. Picks up a little bit, and then rain gets a little bit heavier. Joplin, and then heading back southwest along I-44. Moderate to heavy rain once you get down toward Grand Lake. Heaviest rain over the next few days along and south of I-44. So that's why we have that big flash flooding threat. These guys rotating through eastern parts of Oklahoma could be low-grade severe as they get into northwestern Arkansas. Here's our next big band, which is going to push in later on tonight. Heading outside right now, of course, we have the clouds, have on and off showers. Nice shot. Indigo Sky, Casino and Resort. Temperatures with the clouds and the showers have kept us in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees, especially with that cold front that pushed through last night. All right, rain chances back up tonight, back up late morning. You can kind of see the periods of showers and thunderstorms as we go through the next 36 hours. So thunderstorms really build back in. So here's 11 p.m. Could be a little loud. I think any severe weather will stay just south of the region. We want to watch this later on tonight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Heaviest bands of rain push out by morning, and then just light showers through the morning. And here we go again. Once we get into the afternoon, bands of showers and some thunderstorms. Thankfully, not much in the way of severe weather over the next 24 hours. Temperatures into the 60s. Once again on your Wednesday, we'll go high temp of 68 degrees. Let's go a little bit farther. So Wednesday night, we have bands of scattered showers and thunderstorms push in. Look at the winds. They switch back out of the south. So these could be a little bit more potent as our upper level low starts to kick in. This is going to be Thursday morning and then start to push out once we get into Thursday afternoon. But still rainfall amounts over the next few days, especially Joplin south. A lot of areas could pick up an additional 1, 2, 3, maybe isolated 4-inch amounts. 68 on your Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, 71 with some scattered pop-up thunderstorms Friday. Now the weekend looks fantastic, which is great. Thunderstorms back in the middle of next week.
Yeah, nice having a good weekend, but gosh, we don't need more rain next week.
No, we definitely don't need more.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, hundreds of young athletes laced up for a special track and field event in Pittsburgh. We're going to tell you about it ahead. Up next on the CBS Evening News, flying cars and factories without people. How our biggest economic competitor plans to win the trade war. Then on KOAM News at 6, we showed you severe storms left behind damage and debris in Newton County and elsewhere. Samantha Walker is going to show us how one family is recovering. Plus, Missouri Southern and Crowder College formalized plans for offering a degree in agriculture business. And 3 Frontenac athletes from 3 sports all signed to play at the college level. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. More than 240 young athletes took part in today's Southeast Special Olympics Kansas Youth Track and Field event in Pittsburgh. More than 20 schools participated with help from 140 volunteers. The competition began with the law enforcement torch run at the Plaster Center.
Track and field is the event that they look forward to all year long. They each get to choose 3 events. They each get to show off all of their skills that they've been working on. But it's even better to meet all of these different people from all of these different schools and to have that sense of community inclusion and not just inclusion within the schools.
The event highlighted, in fact, inclusion and community support. And it's a good thing that was indoors because an awful lot of tracks and fields outdoors are pretty soggy right now.
Yeah, we have more rain to come. You can see actually along and south of I-44, a lot of areas, another 2 to 4 inches as we go through the next couple days. So we got to keep our eyes on that. Showers and thunderstorms tonight, periods of thunderstorms for us on Wednesday into Thursday morning, even a few popping up on Friday. Finally, we get a little dry stretch as we head into the weekend and early next week. And then we dive right back in the middle of next week.
Not much of a dry stretch, but at least it's on a weekend. So
that's true.
That's nice. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.